In the intricate world of international relations, certain moments stand out as pivotal, reshaping alliances and altering the course of history. Diplomatic meetings between world leaders are often carefully orchestrated affairs designed to project unity, reinforce alliances, and address pressing geopolitical challenges. However, there are moments when these carefully planned encounters take an unforeseen turn, exposing deep divisions, triggering global reactions, and sometimes altering the course of diplomatic history. One such moment recently unfolded in the heart of the United States, where a high-stakes meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky defied expectations, shifting from a diplomatic engagement into an intense and highly scrutinized political spectacle. What was supposed to be a discussion focused on strengthening U.S.-Ukraine relations, securing military aid, and fostering strategic cooperation rapidly escalated into a public clash of differing priorities, leaving both nations and their allies grappling with the consequences. The encounter, meant to reinforce shared commitments, instead became a defining moment that revealed a widening gap between the two leaders' perspectives on diplomacy, international security, and alliance obligations. With cameras rolling and tensions palpable, the world watched as the meeting deviated from conventional diplomatic decorum, transforming into an unprecedented display of political divergence. The global community, leaders, analysts, and citizens alike, was left in a state of contemplation and concern, questioning the future of U.S. foreign policy, Ukraine's security, and the broader stability of Western alliances. This confrontation was not just a singular event. It signaled a possible shift in global power dynamics. Did it expose a rift in the West's support for Ukraine? Was it a glimpse into a more transactional, unpredictable era of U.S. foreign relations? As the dust settles, these questions remain at the forefront of international discourse, with the ramifications of this encounter likely to extend far beyond the walls of the White House. Prelude to the Oval Office showdown. The stage was set for a significant diplomatic engagement between President Trump and President Zelensky, one that had the potential to reinforce strategic cooperation and reshape U.S.-Ukraine relations. The agenda was ambitious: solidify a mineral rights agreement that would grant the U.S. access to Ukraine's valuable rare earth minerals, a move seen as mutually beneficial, ensuring Ukraine's economic stability, while bolstering the U.S. supply chain for critical materials essential for defense, energy, and technology sectors. This deal was poised to be a landmark agreement, strengthening economic and political ties between the two nations at a time when Ukraine needed continued Western backing in its fight against Russian aggression. However, beneath the surface, tensions simmered. The meeting was not just about trade and resources. It carried significant geopolitical weight. The U.S. administration was eager for Ukraine to make concessions to Russia in an effort to expedite peace negotiations, aligning with a growing push for conflict de-escalation and cost reduction in U.S. foreign aid. On the other hand, Ukraine, bearing the scars of an ongoing war, was unwilling to agree to any compromises without ironclad security guarantees, fearing that premature negotiations with Russia could jeopardize its sovereignty and territorial integrity. This fundamental difference in approach created an undercurrent of friction before the leaders even sat down at the table. As the world watched, expectations were high for a display of unity and strategic alignment. However, the stark contrast between the U.S. administration's priorities and Ukraine's urgent security concerns foreshadowed a meeting that would prove anything but conventional. What followed was a confrontation that would send ripples through the geopolitical landscape, exposing deep divisions and raising serious questions about the future of U.S. foreign policy and its role in global security. The meeting unfolds, from diplomacy to discord. As the leaders convened in the Oval Office, initial pleasantries quickly gave way to a charged atmosphere. The discussions, initially framed as a routine diplomatic engagement, soon revealed the deep divides between the two administrations. Vice President J.D. Vance's remarks questioning Ukraine's gratitude for U.S. support set the tone for a confrontational dialogue. introducing an undercurrent of tension that would define the rest of the meeting. President Trump echoed this sentiment, expressing frustration over what he perceived as a lack of acknowledgement for the substantial aid provided by the U.S., while also emphasizing his belief that Ukraine should consider a more conciliatory approach toward Russia to expedite peace. President Zelensky, steadfast in his position, firmly resisted calls for compromise without concrete security assurances, underscoring Ukraine's struggle and the heavy toll of the ongoing conflict. He made it clear that any negotiations with Russia, without firm commitments from the U.S. and NATO, would be tantamount to surrender. His unwavering stance clashed directly with the U.S. administration's growing preference for diplomatic pragmatism over prolonged military support. The discourse escalated into a heated exchange, with voices raised, tensions mounting, and direct accusations exchanged. What had begun as a negotiation for economic and military cooperation quickly unraveled into a stark diplomatic standoff. In an unexpected and highly symbolic move, the anticipated signing of the Mineral Rights Agreement was abruptly canceled, signaling a deeper fracture in the alliance. The meeting concluded without the customary joint press conference, a break from diplomatic tradition, further emphasizing the growing divide between the two nations and leaving the global community speculating on the future of U.S.-Ukraine relations. Global repercussions. Allies and adversaries react. The fallout from the Oval Office confrontation was swift and widespread, stirring unease among U.S. allies and fueling speculation among its adversaries. European allies, alarmed by the discord between two key partners, swiftly reaffirmed their unwavering support for Ukraine, emphasizing the importance of maintaining unity against external threats. The tension raised fresh concerns in European capitals about the consistency of U.S. foreign policy and the potential implications for long-term security commitments. German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock expressed shock over the incident, underscoring the urgent need for continued solidarity with Ukraine and cautioning that any sign of division within the Western Bloc could embolden adversaries. Other European leaders echoed similar sentiments, with officials in France and the United Kingdom stressing that steadfast support for Ukraine remained critical to ensuring regional stability and deterring further aggression. A shift in U.S. foreign policy. This incident has sparked a broader debate about the direction of U.S. foreign policy. Observers note a discernible shift towards a more transactional approach, with traditional alliances being reevaluated through the lens of immediate national interests. The public nature of the dispute has raised questions about the efficacy of conducting diplomacy under the scrutiny of global media, highlighting the challenges of balancing transparency with strategic discretion. The Trump-Zelensky spectacle transcended typical geopolitical drama, serving as a stark reminder of the complexities inherent in international diplomacy. As the world watches, the path forward remains uncertain. Will this confrontation lead to a recalibration of alliances and strategies, or will it serve as a catalyst for renewed dialogue and cooperation? Only time will tell. If you found this analysis insightful and wish to stay informed about the evolving dynamics of global politics, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to receive timely updates. Share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you perceive the impact of this diplomatic episode on the future of international relations?